Hello guys, and we are back again with another video. No long intros, so I'll just start.
Like what are Gen Z guys like? The ones that you either grew up with or sometimes try and speak to with regards to dating or anything. How do you categorize them? How do you classify them?
I feel like there's a lot of growing to do from the age of 22 to like 27 for men, and I think 22-year-old men just aren't there yet necessarily, and I think that I'm pretty mature for my age, and I think the guys that I've countered for the most part just aren't there yet. They're just immature, maybe caught up with kind of a younger mindset.
Yeah, so what are they doing? Like what are they prioritizing? What are they concerned about?
I think they prioritize friends a good amount, which isn't a bad thing. I'm just saying friends a lot, partying, going out, drinking.
I wonder how much of that's an LA thing.
I think a good amount of it might be an LA thing. I think if you go like to a rural town in Kansas, maybe it's not as much.
Yeah. Have you heard of slow life strategy? Do you know about this?
Slow life strategy?
Yeah, so there's a
Slow life strategy.
It seems at the moment, based on the data, that Gen Z, both guys and girls, a little bit younger than you would probably be at the very front of this wave, getting their driver's license later, moving out of home later, getting a job later, not partying as much, not drinking as much, not taking drugs. So they've got generalized risk aversion. They're not doing the risky things that previous generations of that age would, but they're also not even really doing the adult things. Like the number of 16 to 20-year-olds who don't have a driver's license is the highest ever. Like,
really? You think COVID had a pushback in that?
Maybe it could be that people just
Became more isolated, stopped.
If that's your formative years, if you're 15 and COVID hits and you're 18 and COVID finishes, you've just grown up. All you can remember, basically, being the person that you are, is this hermit at home playing Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah.
But what it makes me think about is when these people do need to grow up. You mentioned young guys could do with maybe growing up a little bit more quickly.
Yeah.
If they want a chance. And it makes me wonder whether that's going to keep getting pushed further and further.
Hopefully
and further.
not. But
I don't know. It's
I think for me, one of the biggest turn-ons or pluses a guy can have is being motivated or like dedicated to something, even if that's plumbing, just something that like every day you want to do and work towards to being better at, whether that's the gym or a job like plumbing or being a dentist or being an astronaut, like whatever, just something to work towards rather than just kind of laying back and like kicking your feet up and just enjoying day by day. I think it's that's great and everything, but I think you have to have something that every day you're trying to improve.
Drive and motivation and ambition, I think, are very sexy, and competence as well.
Yeah.
Like if you can manage to hit the sweet spot with a partner of someone who you are attracted to but you admire as well, like you've got a partner that's your role model.
Yeah.
Like that's an unbelievably potent cocktail, I think, for attraction. It's so strange to think about what that is for girls, because guys can just go out and get their drive and do the things that typically are sort of masculine traits. Be very interested in what the equivalent is for a girl. Like what is it that a guy would find in feminine traits that they want to absorb into themselves? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. One time I was on Brad's pod and I was like, oh, like I don't cook or clean. And then everyone was like, I still don't live those comments down. I'm like, okay, I've been practicing now, but I will never live those comments down. Like, oh, like why would you ever want her? She can't cook or clean.
Jesus Christ. We just get a maid. If you're that bothered,
I
you don't need a wife, you need a maid.
Yeah. I was like, bro, I don't think I could ever see myself doing someone else's laundry. Maybe my mother's, but my partner's, never.
Well, you just need to earn a bit more money and then you can pay the maid to do it.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I'll pay someone to do it. I wasn't opposed to a house chef.
I think part of that is that they associate a lack of willingness to do traditional household things with a non-traditional relationship that is just not going to be as enjoyable. It's a less feminine sort of woman.
Yeah.
And the polarity between masculinity and femininity. What the subtext is, I'm not doing the washing, you are.
Yeah.
Right? Which is, and guys are like, whoa,
Like,
whoa,
oh,
whoa.
fuck
Yeah,
this
exactly. If
bitch.
you're not doing it, I'm definitely not doing it.
Yeah, right.
So I do understand, and I do think, there's lots of talk about masculinity and stuff like that. What about the other side of the fence? Are you seeing challenges that young girls have with femininity at the moment, of like finding their role within the world, whether they should be a trad wife or a sex positive, sleep around girl, party girl, whether they should be a hermit?
I don't know. I think it's hard, especially with social media, and like most of the girls you see on social media are like, there's two sides of it, of course, but there's a lot of like sex symbols you see on social media, or even if it's not like sex symbols, you see like these hot, beautiful girls that may or may not have had work done, but in swimsuits or whatever. And for a lot of people, it's hard to, like, you would never get there, but like that's who you see on a daily basis on your phone. So that's what you want, or that's what you want to strive towards. But yeah, so I think it's hard to say what kind of extent to femininity girls look for, but I think social media hasn't made it easier.
It's confusing.
It's confusing for sure.
And look at some of the role models that were held up as, okay, so this is really, really where, this is someone that's charging forward and really getting it right. Lizzo, fighting for girls all over the place.
Yeah.
And then the bottom falls out, and it turns out that she's making her dancers eat bananas out of strippers' vaginas,
What?
weight shaming all of the people as this champion for body positivity. And Ellen DeGeneres as well. Turns out that she's a total prick to work with. Yeah.
It's like, and it's the people that you would think that were like the most understanding that turned out to not be.
I don't know whether it's people that you would think. I think it's people that
portrayed themselves. Yeah, that
precisely
portrayed,
correct.
Yeah, people that portrayed themselves to be like the most understanding or accepting of everyone.
It's
that turned out to be the shittiest.
It's like the senator that's pushing the hardcore anti-gay legislation that goes home and secretly watches gay porn on a VPN.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's fascinating, and there's a part of that, because people's actions are way less visible than their words online. Like the thing that you tweet is way more important than the thing that you did, because no one sees the thing that you did, but they see the thing that you tweeted.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you look at the people that are the most forthcoming about being virtuous or morally grandstanding or I'm holier than thou, when you see that to me a lot of the time signals
Opposite.
there's probably something going on there, unless I can really, really prove it. And I didn't see it with Lizzo. Not that I'm not like a Lizzo scholar,
You're a Lizzo fan.
yeah, I didn't look at her and see, yeah, this is someone who's really working hard to try and find the next like frontier for female body empowerment or something like that. It seemed like someone doing a grift. It seemed like someone that had managed to
Publicity
capture
stunt.
that had managed to capture a particular
Trend.
narrative and was just leaning into.
So we've come to the end of the video, and this was an interesting topic. They're talking about Gen Z, so it looks like it's something for the young ones. Yes, and it was interesting. I learned a lot, and I hope you did too as well. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share with your friends, and also click on the notification bell icon so that any video that I post, you will be the first to get it. Adios amigos. Bye.